Next book I'm going to do is, which is a surprise you didn't read this one, Batman versus Robin.
I thought about it, but I'm so many.
It's Batman. You Batmaned out. I know.
Yeah,
I pace myself with Batman, so yeah.
yeah. I thought about it because I that this was like the world's finest story, right? You know, where they the
It's kind
continuation
of
or whatever.
continue, yeah, kind of like
Yeah,
bleeding to that. So yeah, it's that.
yeah. I Mark Waid. I thought I almost did, but I'm like, I there was so many. It was a big week, man. There was so much shit I got.
A lot
And
of shit
there's
coming
other
out.
shit that I read that I'm not even talking about. You know, I read
And
this.
this isn't even the only
Yeah,
Batman book on the shelf this week. Like I said, it's
yeah,
DC. All they do is put out Batman now. So
yeah.
yeah, it's just Batman comics. But yeah. All right. So basically, what's going on with it? I don't need to set up for this book. It's issue number 1. We'll just jump into it. Batman versus Robin. Damian, the one that we like. Well, the one I like, the GOAT Robin, the best Robin. That's when he's fighting. Yeah. So basically, starts off with Batman and Robin. They're Batman, and then you get or look at Damian, okay, because Damian is kind of like trapped in two worlds. He was raised by assassins, but he was also trained by his father, Batman, to to do good. So, which side does he do? Which side does he follow? Well, he came to a crossroads, and it turns out that Alfred died. And he blames Batman. He blames his father because he wasn't there to save Alfred, but he also blames himself because he was there to save Alfred, wasn't strong to do it. So he realized that maybe the way of doing like his father wants him to do, maybe that's the way to do it. So he leaves to kind of like find himself to be better. They even fight back then. So it ain't even the first time they fought each other. They fight all the time. That's all they do now because they love each other, but they hate each other. So Wayne Manor, you got this guy standing out front of Wayne Manor in the rain. And you got Bruce standing there, of course, and it does address the fact that Bruce doesn't even stay in Wayne Manor anymore. He stays in the brownstone in the middle of in Gotham. So he just there just to be there, because he just misses being in his house. But he's like, but maybe something else is pulling me here right now while that figure is still walking close and close to the building. So he walks there, he gets a knock on the door. He's like, who the hell knocking on my door? I wasn't even expecting anybody. So he knocks, answers the door, and it turns out it's Alfred. Like, the fuck?
Huh?
Yeah. Like, okay. And so the first thing he thinks about, okay, reunion, that's the name of the story. So the first thing he thinks about, okay, Clayface, Hugo Strange, Quarter Owls, like it's gotta be a clone or something. One of my enemies are fucking with me. And he's just like, no, it ain't that. No, it's me. And he basically said the last thing I remember is Bane and your crazy ass dad walked in the house and Damien tried to save me. That's the last thing I remember. He was like, well, nobody could know that but Alfred, because that was the last thing Alfred did before Bane snapped his neck, you know. And he was like, and basically Alfred like, look, the way you looking at me, I'm glad because that means I'm not hallucinating because you're looking at me like I'm hallucinating also. So maybe we need to figure out what the hell is going on. So they talk for about an hour. Bruce asks him every single question he can. Alfred answered. Basically, he knows everything about him because, like I said, it's Alfred. So he even go and Alfred even says, let's go to the back cave and you do some tests on me to make sure I'm me. He goes, he even set the time, 10:47. That's the time, when the Waynes got shot. We know this stuff. Basically, he knows Batman trivia. He knows all this shit. So he goes down to the back cave, he runs some more tests. And it's when he hears some shit, he's like, hold up, what the hell's going on here? And that's when you guess what the backtrack dance. You got Robin with Jakeem Thunder. If you watch Stargirl, you know who it is. And I don't know who this guy is. Some dude, a magic guy. I forgot his name. And he's on the big penny. And he tells Alfred, get the hell out of here. He hadn't seen you yet, so you go hide. I'm gonna figure out what this is. And he just like, Damien, I'm glad you brought some friends over. I didn't invite them. Tell them to get the hell out of here. And he was like, and that's when he shocks the big penny and he tries to drop the penny on Bruce and it like destroys like that part of the Batcave. Meanwhile he sneaks away. And he's just like, go get him. And that's an order. And he just like, oh, you don't give orders in my house, Damien. I do. Now, as long as you under my roof, and that's what he switched to Batman like super quick. They ain't waste no time. So he's just like, oh, this was your house. It's my house now, old man. Let's go. So and that's when Batman's like, okay, yeah, Damien is the asshole.
This is another stuff. I was like, ain't Batman broke? But that's another.
He broke ish. He's broke for his
But
level.
I thought he lost Wayne Manor. Like, what are they doing?
He did lose Wayne Manor. Like, he's just there just to be there. He doesn't stay there anymore.
He's just squatting and shit.
Yeah, he just shows up just to be there, you know. Yeah. So he's like, okay, Damien is normally an asshole. I expect Damien to be an asshole, but the way he's acting right now, this is something different. This feels like something else is in control of him. I got to find out what the hell it is. So, and Batman, even though I don't know who these guys are that Damien brought with him, Batman knows who they are. He's like, okay, this guy, he is supposed to be like one of the most powerful magic users of all time, except he can only use it with like a something he grabs with a magic wand. So he just beats the shit out of that kid, grabs a screwdriver, he uses his wand, breaks it. Because he's Batman. That's what he does, you know. So he's down. Jakeem Thunder, you know, like does his catchphrase and shit like that, takes over the dinosaur, and they ride in after Batman to try to eat him. You know, and Batman's just like, Damien, tell these boys to quit doing this shit because you already know what's gonna happen. I'm gonna beat the shit out of these boys, and I'm gonna come for you next. So just tell them to chill. You putting these boys in danger, and that's when Damien says, "Oh, isn't that what you do? Don't you put boys in danger?" He was like,
snap.
yeah, he couldn't deep. He couldn't. He was like, Damien, you know how this goes. So then he does some shit. Oh yeah, he throws a gas bomb at Jakeem Thunder and just puts a sleep gas on him, knocks him out. And Damien's just like, I gotta hurry up and kill you, father, so I can go for mother next. You slowing down my timetable, you know. So he'd like, okay, so I know something wrong with Damien right now. But so Batman is trying to use just enough force to take those boys out, but he don't want to hurt them too bad, but he don't want to not hurt them enough that they don't get back up and come after him, you know. So
he grabs a glowing crowbar.
Right. So basically the boy that he put down got back up again. So now Batman's getting his ass beat by costumes. So that's how he knows that, okay, whatever the fuck is going on, it's magic. Because Jakeem is magic, the other boy's magic. I'm getting beat to sleep by a costume. So Damien's being possessed by magic. And it's be like, you gonna pay for Alfred's death. And that's when Alfred just walks right up on him. He was like, he didn't kill me. He was like, what the fuck? He was like, yeah, whatever you doing right now, Damien, because I know this is some magic shit. He just getting his ass beat by costumes and shit. He was like, whatever you doing, the magic that you dealing with has something to do with bringing me back, because I guess it's your grief or whatever like that, but I'm back now. He's like, and Batman
his
burns his
costume. Coming back to haunt him.
Right, some shit like that. He was like, I always dreamed you was alive. I guess whatever magic I'm using, like, resurrected you. And he was like, but I don't believe it. I'm not falling for it. So he's about to kill Alfred again, you know. And that's when you're like, damn it, Damien. Batman always says that. Damien is always fucking up, you know. So he knocks down Damien and they just take off running. He was like, because most of the boys got back up, so they're running after us. So he was like, you can't run in the dark, father. I will find you. So they in the dark, and he's just like, yeah. And so the boy is like doing lightning and shit, that magic boy. He's just doing lightning. So Batman and Alfred are running and like lightning, darkness, lightning, darkness, and they get closer. I like, that's a cool ass scene right there. So they after them, and they get to the very end of the cavern, and that's when Damien is just like, you're at the end of the rope, father. That's it. And I know you always told me not to use guns, but this is the perfect time to use one right now, because the way Batman began, that's the way he ends. I just wish I had some pearls on my hand right now. You know, I'm like, Damien's saying some really fucked up shit right now. So anyway, he shoots Batman, and they fall into the cavern, and just like that's it, you know. But it turns out Batman's cape is stronger than Kevlar, even though Damien was using armor piercer rounds. It wasn't stronger than Pierce's cape, and it was just enough that his suit was able to catch it. So basically, the bullets didn't pierce, you know. So they basically start off running, and they realize that, okay, we're fighting an enemy. So yeah, Batman's just like, Alfred, I got to take you somewhere because you back to life, but you know, I can't risk you, you know, losing your daughter, your granddaughter. You got to meet them up again. He was like, no, we got to go after Damien. He's my family too, Bruce. And then they hug it out, you know, like, I miss you, old friend. Because basically, like, they got to go rescue Damien because they both care for Damien just as much, you know. So that's when Damien goes back to the Tower of Fate, which belongs to Dr. Fate. So if he's at the Tower of Fate, where the hell is Dr. Fate? We're going to get to that in a second. So basically, he snaps his fingers. The two boys fall asleep and shit like that. He was like, next time, don't send me children. You know, give me some grown men to go fight the Batman. He was like, you can use any magic weapon you want. He got magic weapons and shit like that. He got Eclipso. If he uses Eclipso, it's done. Batman's out of there. You can't, I mean, that's like Spectre and shit like that. Batman basically is pulling everything out of his pocket that he's got. He got a few batarangs, smoke bomb. He got like a little mini laser and shit. So he really ain't got much. He can't call the Bat family. Swiss Army knife. He can't call the Bat family because he knows if he calls the Bat family, Damien's going to expect it. because Damien knows how he thinks because he's been around him the whole time. She's like, so, but I got this thing. I got this key. This key was given me by Satana. And she was like, if I ever get in trouble, I can use this key, open a door, and I can instantly go to her house. Because anytime I'm dealing with magic, the first person I go to is Zatanna, because she knows more about magic than anybody on this planet. So like, oh shit. So let's go to Zatanna. And they go to her and they find her and she's being hung by a rope, in her own house. Yeah. And they're like, oh shit, Zatanna. And it's like, Bruce. It's like, what the fuck? Yeah, I'm still alive, but I'm dead. I'm like both alive and dead right now. So like, who did this to you? She was like, whoever is doing it is going after every magic user that is. Constantine, Swamp Thing, off the table. Demon, off the table. So the Just League Dark are off the table. So whoever got me, I was fighting some demons and I was telling them to burn to ash, but somebody changed my words in my mouth to hang yourself. And that's where I'm at right now. So I'm not dead. I'm just being tortured. And whoever's doing this is probably going to torture me. But whatever's going on right now, this is Damien's fault. Damien is doing this. Like, how did Damien do this? Like, well, you're the detective. You need to figure that shit out. But anyway, Damien is behind this shit. So, like, okay, so we need to find Damien. And oh yeah, that's when Zatanna said, I'm gonna give you this. If you go in this drawer, find this other key, is gonna lead you to a place that'll give you all the secrets everybody knows. So obviously, if you know your DC lore, they got to be talking about the House of Secrets. Batman's about to enter the House of Secrets. So yeah. Meanwhile, Damien's is like, I don't even want to use any of this magic shit. I need some better shit to kill the Batman. It's the Batman, And that's when you get the Devil Nezza. It's supposed to be some big reveal that the Devil Nezza is behind this. If anybody don't know who the Devil Nezza is, he's the guy that was in that World's Finest book. He was a big bad guy behind that. The stinger ending of that, Damien like tripped up on him and found him. And that's it. So Damien's working for him now, and he's got a wife. So to be continued. So that's what's going on right now. So yeah, like I said, it's a cool thing. Oh, what you big? It's a cool thing. I'm liking it. Like I said, Mark Waid is pretty much continuing with the story that he had before. So I'm digging so far. I might stick around with it to see what's going on. I don't know. So shoot, what you got
wild.
Next? It's a wild story. I figured if it was finishing off that World's Finest story, it was gonna be pretty wild. So yeah.